another great video. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. I just want to welcome you to my channel. If you haven't already, please give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Invite other people to subscribe to this channel and join me on my other social media platforms. Today we're going to talk about something that is a little heavy, and it's about this viral video of a young child being assaulted and abused by a daycare worker. This really hit my heart really hard because, I'm a mom and, I went through some ups and downs with daycare, and I just really, really want to put this information out there to help other parents who have children who are, in daycare and childcare, and try to come up with a solution, a way to keep our children safe. A little bit of a backstory. My son, when I first had him, I put him in a daycare facility called Childcare back in Hampton, Virginia. And I really, really liked that daycare center. I was able to drop him off, and I had peace of mind that, he was safe throughout the day. And this is not a video that is endorsed or paid for by Childcare. This is just me and my experience. So I had him there for about 9 months, and then I had moved him to the Childcare up in Newport News, Virginia. And I just want to say the staff there was great. It was a bit expensive, but his father and I, we had decided that we would not cut costs, when it came to, child care for him. We were active duty. We didn't have, grandma around the corner. We didn't have anybody that we knew, that we can drop him off with. So we trusted the staff at Childcare. When we get off work, or when we got off work, we would just pop up, and he wasn't, ever neglected or, look bad. There was one time when we had moved, and we had put him in a daycare center that was not Childcare. And I noticed the first couple days he was there, the first day he had like a scratch on his nose, and I always made a habit to cut his nails that Sunday before he went to daycare, so you wouldn't scratch yourself or scratch other children. But he had a deep scratch on his nose, and that made me really upset. And so the day after that, I came back to pick him up, and his bottom was just red, as if he had sat in a pissy diaper all day. And it was so bad that I take him to the ER because, he was just crying. He was so uncomfortable, and that just really pissed me off. And so he did not go back after that. We put him, right back at Childcare, and we footed that cost, because we had that peace of mind, and we knew that our baby was safe. Throughout the years, he was in, I have to edit this out. Throughout the years, he was in before and after school care, remained at Childcare until he was old enough to become a latchkey kid, and things like that. And now, back in 2017, wow, it was like 2 years ago, I had started working at the Child Development Center for the Department of the Navy back in Hawaii. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to get this job because, I just got my degree, and, trying to get my income in and stuff like that. I really did not want that job, because I was like, I know that childcare is not my thing, I really just want to, deal with the public, on an aspect where I can, do law enforcement, and I can just have a change of scenery. Like, I really can't stand being in one building, the entire day, and I can't leave it, or see other people or talk to people, things like that. And I have a video diary where, I was working at this job, and I absolutely hated it because when I got there, the workers were treated really poorly by the director and the other administrative staff. And me being a college educated woman, being a veteran, not in a predicament where my other co-workers they were really treated really crappy. They took that treatment because I asked one lady, I'm like, why do you take this? And she took it because she says, well, I don't have my citizenship. And so they feel as though they can't fight back or nothing. I'm thinking to myself, like, man, forget this. This job sucks. This job is trash. And the upper management, everybody else, they trash too, the way they treat people. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, look, should I got my citizenship? What are they gonna do? Deport me back to Ohio? Please deport me back to Ohio, and let me take the rest of my stuff with me. The way my immune system is set up, if I catch a cold, it gets really bad. And that's what happened. I caught a cold that did not go away. I was pretty much sick the whole time I was there because, the germs, the little kids come in, we want to hug you, but they got like green snot coming out of you, like, no, but you're like, I love you so much. So I did not last there no more than like 30 days. When I sent them my letter, I turned in my little apron, and I was kind of done. I did not notice anything that compares to this viral video. Nothing compared to that. I am absolutely disgusted because there is a deficit of, available childcare spots. And unfortunately, two-parent households have to work, or one-parent households have to work, therefore leaving their children with the agency or somebody else. But there are rules in place that you sign that, you don't put other people's children on your personally owned cameras. Only center sponsored events, and a release form has to be signed. And then I noticed when they're at the table, that's called, that family style dining or whatever. And this little girl she is falling asleep. And at a lot of these daycares, once they reach a certain age, they don't allow them to take naps anymore. You have to be on a schedule. The child just really doesn't have that freedom. Yes, the child needs structure and things like that. But however, you don't know what this home life looks like. I felt bad when I would have to bring my son to daycare at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they don't serve breakfast until like 8:30. My baby is going 2.5 hours without eating, but he's been up since probably about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and that's just things that really pissed me off. And that's one of the reasons why I got out of the military, because I wanted that hands-on with my child. And, I thank everybody who came through to help me out with childcare when I worked midnight shift, or when I had odd hours or couldn't get off in time, things like that. I thank everybody who helped me out. And there's one thing that you have to, look at. There was a person here in the greater Seattle area. They had came from the naval station in California, and they had a child leave their home, and was wandering the neighborhood. And this made the news. This was widely known. So this person came up here, got a different Facebook name, and came up here to this area and was advertising childcare for the military. And luckily, someone remembered them, like, hey, if you see this person on Facebook advertising childcare, this was the person who had that child leave their home and was wandering the neighborhood. Yes, I'm telling you, we definitely have to be more selective, more vigilant, and we have to demand that there's, stricter hiring practices when it comes to childcare centers. We have to have trustworthy people. We have to vet these people properly before we leave our children with them. There was some woman in the Midwest, something like that, Midwest, who had a child who was tied up and like hanging by a noose, while the child was left in her care. Yes, that is something here. I'm just saying we have to, screen these people better. We have to look deep into, their habits, their social media, their demeanor. I had shared a post last year where I was a friend on Facebook with someone who worked at a childcare center. It was like Sunday night, and it was well after midnight, and I'm scrolling down my Facebook timeline, and I'm seeing a stripper. I'm like, who is sharing this bull? And I go look at the person who shared it, a child care provider at this agency. And I'm like, whoa. Okay. So here you go after midnight with strippers and stuff like that. You're broadcasting this on social media, but you're going to go take care of some people's kids later on that day? No, negative. Okay. Yes, it's time to look deep. Childcare agencies, childcare providers, licensing agencies, whoever's out there, you need to do better. Parents, you deserve the right to be in the know. You need to pop up, screen these places. Don't just go to them because the price is right, or, they just happen to have an opening. Look around. You need to look around and check the cleanliness, the safety. Those who inspect these places, please take it seriously. Those center directors, okay? Don't be a piece of shit, okay? You need to properly screen and vet these people. And I hate the fact that at certain jobs, they keep it as a revolving door. Those who are quality, who take care of the place, who take care of that organization, treat them like shit. So if anything, you know, those people who do really give a damn, who really love children, who have it in their heart to keep them safe and do the right thing, you know, go into business for yourself, link up with somebody else, you know, do this on your own, okay? Because there's an epidemic out there where our children are being injured and being, you know, abused at childcare. This little girl right here had her hair pulled. She didn't have a chair, so it looks like they took her chair from her and made her stand up and was force feeding her food. This baby is tired, you know. I hope that these employees were, you know, ultimately terminated. I hope this is permanently on their record so that they never are employed ever again in a child care facility or even in an elderly care facility, because not only do we have to remember that we have to look out for our elderly, we gotta look out for our children too, okay? Because, you know, yeah, it's I don't want to say anything that I have to mute out or take out, but our most vulnerable is our children and our elderly, and we need to take care of them and properly vet those who are in direct care of them or provide direct care for them. If you have anything else to add, put in the comments. If you gain anything positive from this video that you're going to take away, make sure you comment that below, share with somebody, tag them in this video, like, subscribe, share, and join me on my other social media platforms. Again, thank you so much for watching.